What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I wanted to bring you guys along with me as I service some of my regular consistent clients that have beautiful dreadlocks that often want to get their hair colored and pruned and just basically maintained regularly. So I wanted to take you guys along with me. So here you see me mixing the developer with my color products, which I love the Deep Shine product line. They have really vibrant colors and it really works well with natural hair as well as deep penetrating locks. So my client that I'll be servicing first, she has really long locks and she doesn't like her grays, so I gotta hook my girl up. So I always color her grays with the darkest brown or a natural black. Today I'll be using a mixture of the natural black and the darkest brown just to get it a little bit darker, to see if I can get it to last a little bit longer on her hair. She's also going to be getting a light copper blonde and a dark red copper blonde for her highlights and lowlights. So I'm mixing the colors together. She has not arrived yet. I wanted to make sure everything was ready so that when she got there, all I had to do was prep her with her safety cape as well as the towels and then get right into it. I'm also trying to make sure that I got the right TV show on so that I can just breeze through this while I am working on her head and without distraction. I love watching Game of Thrones, so throughout my servicing for both of my clients, I'll be watching Game of Thrones. And yes, I'm a chronic binge watcher of all things period pieces, Vikings, yes, and I've watched it over and over again, and I'm going to keep watching it over and over again. My clients love it, I love it, so that's what we're doing. So I am going to be making sure that I'm mixing up my products really good. Yeah, so I have already mixed up the dark red copper blonde. I'm now mixing up the black, and then I'll be mixing up the light copper blonde last and putting them in the proper order to make sure that I put them in the order that I'm putting it in her hair to make sure I don't mix it up so that I know which color is which. So yeah, yeah, so my client is here. Of course, I'm excited to see her. It's been a few months since she's gotten her service. So she's here. She's ready to get this thing started. She wants to leave with a beautiful hairstyle. So let's get right into this. First, I'm going to apply the black to her roots to make sure that the grays are completely covered. And I am making sure that I get it all the way through on all of her locks, on all of the new growth that she has in her hair. And I start with the black, of course, and I do it all over her entire head first. Then I'll be progressing on to doing her highlights first, and then I'll be doing her lowlights. So here you'll see me separating out the hair. And what I'm basically doing is just trying to find hair in different places throughout her entire head that has already some highlights or the lighter colors at the tips. And I'm going to section that off in a scrunchie to put that to the side, and then I'll be getting some more and sectioning that off and putting that to the side as well, because remember, she's getting highlights and lowlights. So the first part that I'm doing is the highlight, sectioning that off, and then the second part will be the low lights. So here you see me applying the color after I sectioned off the first set of locks, and I'm applying it from the middle of her lock all the way down to the ends. The product that I'm using has a bit of developer and peroxide that'll lift her hair just a little bit, so that it not only deposits color, but it just lifts some of that darker color out, so that the color that's being put in the pigment can be really vibrant on her hair. She doesn't want it to be too bright, but she wants it to be bright enough so that it can show through the darker colors that are in her hair. To make sure that this color is not bleeding into the other color, I put a shower cap around it and secure it on with a clip, and then I go back through and start sectioning out the low light hair, and then I start applying the color, as you can see here. And then I'll also put a shower cap on this hair to make sure that this color doesn't bleed onto the other hair that does not have color on it. And it's really easy. It's really simple. You basically just lay the color on the locks, and then you use your hand to kind of spread the color all the way down and get it onto the entire lock, so that the color can penetrate each piece of hair that is that's being touched by the actual product. And you don't want to use you want to make sure that you have enough color on the hair to get each and every lock. So like I said, I'll be putting it in the shower cap to make sure that the color doesn't bleed. And then here you'll see me adding the black to the rest of her hair, because her hair was kind of dull and it had a kind of ashy cast from just being, you know, not done for a while. Product like having an overabundance of product in her hair, and it's just been a while since she's had any color applied to her hair. So I just wanted to make sure that her hair was shiny and the color was popping and it was vibrant, and my girl left out of there looking great. So that's why I'm applying the black to the rest of the locks that were not put into those plastic caps. And then when I'm done applying the color to these, I'll also put this hair in a plastic cap, so that if she decides to get up and move around while she's waiting for the color to work in her hair or work on her hair, it doesn't get on anything. It doesn't, you know, touch her face or whatever. It's just to protect her as well as protect my walls and furniture and stuff, to make sure that the color is bleeding off onto anything that it's not supposed to touch. Before I put it into the shower cap or the plastic cap, I wanted to make sure that I cut off the soft spots, because like regular hair that's not locked, locks can also get split ends, and what happens is it'll get those soft spots and it'll start to break up the lock. So instead of leaving it there and waiting for it to fall off, you just clip that right on off of the ends to make sure that that hair does not get damaged any further. Because as you know, as hair grows, it dies as it grows out of your scalp. So you just want to make sure that that hair continues to be healthy and shine, has vibrant luster to it. And the best way to do that is to make sure that you're clipping the ends of your locks and pruning those locks regularly. My suggestion is every 6 months, making sure that you clip the ends and prune up the lock. Now I am shampooing her out. And what I do is I use the Paul Mitchell natural line. I use the tea tree shampoo as well as the lavender mint shampoo, and both of them are moisturizing shampoos to make sure that as I am washing the product out, I am also putting the moisture back in. But I also use a neutralizing shampoo to make sure that I am stopping the chemical process from happening in her hair. I use a leave-in conditioner as well to make sure that during this cold season she is getting the conditioner and her scalp is not being left to be dried out during the cold season, as you should be doing if you have regular hair, even if you don't have locks. Now let's get into the nitty gritty. Here I am beginning the maintenance process. So basically what I do is I apply a small amount of lock serum. I use the Barry Fletcher product line. It's black owned, and it's for black hair and or African American hair. But I use that product line, and what I do is I put a small amount on each individual lock, and then I palm roll it, and I secure or anchor the lock to the base of the hair as I am palm rolling each individual lock. And sometimes I put the product all over like a row of locks, so that way I don't have to keep going back and forth between the product and the locks, product and the locks. But it doesn't take that long. It probably takes about 30, maybe 45 minutes to palm roll an entire head of locks. And then after I palm roll, usually I put the client under the dryer, but because I knew she had somewhere she had to be, after I serviced her hair, I wanted to go ahead and style her hair and then put her under the dryer, so she only had to be under the dryer for a few minutes. So this is what you see me doing here. I am palm rolling her hair. I love her hair. Her hair is so long, it's so pretty. Her locks are very healthy. And she is one of my older clients, so she is not a young client. She has really healthy hair. She gets her hair maintenance frequently enough to make sure that the integrity of her locks are intact, and she's not letting the products build up too much. She does not let anybody else do her hair. I am her only loctician, and I just wanted you guys to see what goes into manicuring locks. These are not actually considered dreadlocks. These are considered manicured locks. Dreadlocks are usually freeform style locks that you see in maybe like Elisa Bonet's hair, or Maxwell had some before. Those are considered freeform locks. This is considered manicured locks. Okay, you see me here clipping some more stragglers off the bottoms of her locks. And you see the color, how bright the color is compared to how it was when she got there. I don't know if you can see the difference between the two colors, but she could, which was all that mattered. But she wanted a mohawk look with petals. And basically I had to cornrow or braid her sides up to the middle and then do the pipe cleaners at the ends of each of the cornrows. So what I did was do the cornrows first, and I just crisscrossed them to hold them tight until I got to the point of doing the petals. And I just use pipe cleaners to make the petals, but it's a really simple hairstyle. I think the hardest part was the top of her head, and that was to make sure that she had bangs. She kind of likes to have hair hanging down on her face because she thinks that she has a wider face and doesn't really like how it looks off of her face. So that's what I'm doing here. I am doing the cornrows, and then I'll get to the petals in just a moment. So I am beginning to do the pipe cleaners, and basically what I did was secured 3 locks on each petal to give it a little bit of girth, as well as to make sure that it wasn't too many petals and that it was just full enough to look really nice for the mohawk. And she didn't really want a lot of hair back there. She just wanted it just to be full enough so that it looked pretty and the petals fell right. So as you can see, basically I'm just rolling the locks onto the petals lengthwise all the way up the petal, and then all the way up the pipe cleaner, and then securing the top of the pipe cleaner to the bottom of the pipe cleaner to make it into a circle. And that's how I create the petal look. And I do that all the way up the middle of her hair, and then once I get to the front, I won't do petals. I'll do just the long pipe cleaners, and I will kind of secure them in place um, in specific like clusters, so that it looks how she wants it to look. Sometimes I have to get the client to look at it while I'm doing it to kind of help me create the look that they're going for, because my clients can be a little bit special sometimes. So I just wanted to make sure that she liked it. It was pretty, but you'll see what I'm talking about when we get to that part. This is where I kind of had her look at where I was and tell me exactly how she wanted me to do the front, because I didn't want it to be wrong and I didn't want it to look weird to her. I wanted her to be happy with her style and to be satisfied with what she requested as well as what she actually received. Um, so like I said, here I am just doing straight pipe cleaners and letting them hang, and then I'll position them the way that she wants me to position them once I'm done. Honey, this is where the fun part comes. I am trying so hard to give her what she wants, but it's so confusing because she wants that front done different almost every time that I do it. So the other reason why I'm recording this is so that she can at least see what I did the last time, so that she has a point of reference for when she gets it done the next time, because she always asks me, do I remember what I did the last time? And I never remember, because she's like one of a million clients that I have. So I recorded it for a log or chronicle proof, so that she can see what I did for her. And as you can see, she really likes it. She's very pleased with what she got, and this is the finished product of what she wanted. She wanted that petal mohawk, and her hair looks pretty. So this next client, he's one of my younger clients, and he wanted to get his tips dyed red, but he had green at the ends of his hair. So I had to bleach the green out of his hair first, and then after I shampooed the bleach out, then to deposit the red onto the end. So right here you see me, I had already applied the bleach to the ends, and you can see that it's brown as opposed to green. It was green before, and I'm just going through to make sure that the bleach touched all of the parts that were green. I'm going to be shampooing that out. I'm only going to shampoo it once, because I don't want to um, cause the color to not take onto the lifted hair. I want to make sure that the color is hyperpigmented once I do apply it onto his hair. So I'm just shampooing it out that one time, just shampooing it really good. And yes, that's my husband. That's my poo coming in to say that he was leaving for work. And yeah. So now I'm about to start applying the red to the ends of his hair. As you can see, the hair is not green, it is now brown. It's like a dark blondish color that allows the color to take a little better than on the darker hair. I'm just applying red, and he wanted it to be a dark or deep red, so it looks bright when I apply it, but once it's actually on the hair, it'll be a lot darker than what you actually see here. I'm not going to take you guys through the entire process. I'm only going to take you through the coloring of the hair, because the maintenance is basically the same. What I will say is this particular client is really challenging when it comes to doing the maintenance on his hair, because he has a patch of his hair in the middle that is completely damaged and broken off, and it's not because of the locks or the color, it's because of stress, alopecia. He suffered from or he was dealing with some traumatic events in his life, and it caused his hair to come out in the middle. So we worked really hard to start to repair it, and you'll be able to see at the end that I was able to get it to grow back, and he was able to start getting styles. It's not very long, so it kind of gets frizzy when you do the maintenance on his hair, but I still made sure that it looked really nice and was really manicured for him so that he could wear the style that he came and asked for. And as time goes by, his hair will grow out and it'll get a lot better and it'll look a lot better. Here I am really just trying to make sure that I don't miss any of the locks, because sometimes when you color hair, you have one or two that kind of sneak past you, and you kind of miss them. But I didn't want that for him because he's really particular about the color and how his hair looks. So I wanted to make sure that I got every single lock with the red color. And once I'm done applying the color, I make sure to put the plastic cap on his head as well, to make sure he does not touch my furniture or my walls if he happens to go to the restroom or whatever. I want to make sure that it's covered and sealed in with some kind of safety measure. So plastic cap is the best technique for me. It didn't really take that long to do his hair. It took about 2 hours total to do the color, the maintenance, and the styling. So I only captured the coloring, and then you'll see here at the end that the style that he was looking for and what we ended up with. And as you can see, the color is a little bit darker than what it was when I applied it. And I'm going to end the video here. I thank you for chiming in, and make sure that you click the subscribe button and click the bell to make sure that you get notifications for all the new video content that I upload. And I'll see you guys in the next video.